Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to flip normals in Unity without using Blender or any other 3D modeling software. In this video, we will write a script that flips the normals of a mesh directly in Unity. Here, you can see the normals of this core model are facing inwards, so we would need to fix this issue. For this demo, I have imported a FBX model of McLaren Spider and extracted its materials. Make sure to enable read or write for the model in import settings and hit apply. I'm gonna create a new script and name it as flip normals and open it in the code editor.
Okay, first let me clear a few things which we don't need. Then create a method private void flip. To flip the normals, the first step is to access the mesh component of the current game object. Then we get the normals of the mesh. Then we invert each normal and finally assign the inverted normals back to the mesh. So to access the mesh component, we get the mesh filter component from the current game object and access its mesh. Then we get the normals of the mesh. So I take an array of vector 3 normals equals to mesh.normals, and I loop through each normal and invert it by multiplying by -1. Normals.length I plus plus normals of I equals to -1 times normals of I. Finally, we need to assign the inverted normals back to the mesh. So mesh.normals equals to normals. So in here, we are flipping the normals, but we are not done yet. We need to adjust the triangles to ensure the normal is rendered correctly. So we loop through each submesh. Mesh.submesh count I plus plus. Then I take an array of integers, call it triangles, equals to mesh.getTriangles of I. Then we need to swap the order of the vertices for each triangle. Swap the order of the vertices for each triangle. To swap the order of the vertices, I loop through the triangles. J equals to 0, j is less than triangles dot length, and j plus equals to 3. 3 because it's a triangle. We'll take a temporary triangle, call it int temp equals to triangles of j. Then triangles of j equals to triangles of j plus 1 and triangles of j plus 1 equals to temp. Now finally we need to adjust the mesh. Set the modified triangles back to the mesh. So mesh dot set triangles of triangles, comma I. Now let's create a serialized field, private bool invert normals. By default it is set to false. Now in start, if invert normals is true, we flip the normals. Then we make this script execute always to ensure the script runs both in play mode and edit mode. Okay, let's save it and go back to Unity. First, let me check it on a simple cube. So I hide the car model and I create a cube. I drag flip normal script to the cube and switch on invert normals, then hit play. Good. So we can see that the normals are flipped and stays the same even if we come out of the play mode. If I hit on play, you can see that the normals are flipped again. In some cases we don't want this to happen, so I stop it and I just completely remove the script from the cube. Okay, now let me show you one car model. I'll select all the meshes for which I want to flip normals. I think we don't need to flip on the wheels, then drag flip normal script and hit play. Here you can see that the normals are all flipped and this rendered correctly. So all the normals are flipped, that's good. So now I can remove the component and even if I hit play, it stays the same.